Face it guys, we've all dreamed of the day where our jobs finally start offering us to work from home. No more long hours in traffic or on public transport, no need to dress up since, well, we're at home. But this day has come upon us in the most unprecedented of ways. Whether you are working from home due to the global pandemic or simply because it is a perk of your job, here are some tips to set you up for success when working from home. Hi guys, it's me Tiffany, also known as Talker Tiffy, and I hope this video will be useful to you. Honestly, working from home comes with several challenges, and with this setup, you're at risk of both underworking or overworking. When you have an office, there tends to be a clear demarcation between work and play. Your colleagues know when you're on a toilet break or you're grabbing a cup of coffee from the pantry, so you don't quite have to over-explain any temporary absences. You get a better gauge of what your teammates are working on, so you don't feel like you're interrupting their workflow or bothering them when you have a question. And everyone thinks when you're working from home, you're just having fun lounging around, when your eyes are actually just glued to the computer and you're working even harder. Or maybe you're just having lunch or a snack break, but you keep having this nagging feeling that, oh shoot, someone might be looking for you. Yep, working from home comes with its own fair share of problems. Throughout 2020, I've gone back and forth between office and home, and I've actually learned a few tips to set you up for success when you're working from home. Number one, set up a dedicated workspace. You want somewhere that you're working full-time all the time. And this is a space that helps you focus and concentrate on your work. You'd ideally want a place where you are less likely to be interrupted by people, where you can have time to be alone, you can have time to focus, and you get the peace that you want. What it does is that it allows you to come in at your proper work time. You have set up an arena for you to work. You know that by the time I sit here, I lay out my planner, I lay out my laptop, I know for sure that this is the time and the zone for me to work. Importantly as well, it allows you to step away from your work. You can get up and you move away, and that's when you know, okay, work time is over. One of the problems that people have working from home is when they don't see that demarcation clearly. Let's say they are working in front of the TV. Not only are they not able to give 100% into the work that they're supposed to do, later on when they're trying to turn off, they also had the sense of, should I be working? And this is unhealthy to you. When you're working for an organization, you owe them these hours. These are the hours that you've agreed to work, and you should be working them. If you're distracted, you're wasting time, you're doing things you should not be doing, then you are cheating your company. With that said, you want to be able to step away from this workplace later on and kind of have a space where you know you can relax. And if you put your workspace in the same place that you relax, that can be a lot harder for you. I always make sure that I have a bottle of water to prevent interruptions. I have all my pens, my notebook, the same notebook that I use at work, as well as my computer. So this makes it a lot easier for me to get into that zone, as well as not lose track of the work that I was previously working on when I was in the office. Tip number 2 is have a medium of communication with your office mates. So one of the problems of working from home is that you kind of lose contact with the team that you have been working with previously. It can be very easy to spend days after days without speaking to anyone from your office. Even if you are communicating electronically, for example through emails or WhatsApp, a lot of things can get lost in translation. I make it a point to speak with my teammates once a day because this helps us align a lot more when it comes to work. When working from home for the first time, I didn't have a system in place for when we would speak. That made it a little unclear as to what everyone was doing for that day. Just by touching base with my team early on in the day, it made it a lot easier to align and to know what the outcome of the end of the day was. So let's say if you are a supervisor, you would want to suggest some sort of implementation where you can speak to your team members early on. Or if let's say you are a team member and your supervisor hasn't implemented that, perhaps you can do that with your same level executives, because this makes it easier for you guys to align. I find that one of the perks of working in office is because you know what's going on around you. And this sort of environmental awareness is useful for you in your work. For instance, if you're working item B and your colleague is working on item C, if you can just look over at your colleague's desk, you'll know that, hey, that could be pretty relevant for what I'm doing now. Being able to share information, being able to offer advice to each other is what makes a collaborative environment so helpful. When working from home, you can lose sense of that collaborative state. So in order to emulate that, you need to create environments where you can speak with your teammates more often. That can be Zoom calls, that can be WhatsApp calls, but as long as you're speaking with them, I think that will help a lot more. One of the common complaints that we hear about people working from home or resisting working from home is when the staff don't know when someone working from home is available. So this brings me to item number 3, which is you want people to know when you are available. I suggest quite a simple thing. Let's say that you're working on split teams where you have half the office in and half the office not in. If you are not in the office for that period of time, your office colleagues need to know when they can contact you. If it's, for example, your turn to pick up your child from 3 to 4 p.m., let them know that 3 to 4 p.m. is the time where they cannot be contacting you because you're out. If working from home means that you're planted to your desk and you're there from 9 to 6, that should be something that's communicated clearly to your team as well. We hear a lot about people being dissatisfied with their colleagues who are working from home because these colleagues are rogue colleagues. They are missing in action when they need to be answering calls, and then when you contact them, they're like, oh, sorry, I was busy. And it gives you that sense of, hey, are they even working? And this can be a problem that causes like discord, and later on when you go back to the office and work together again, you might have a broken relationship. So how I resolve the problem is that, let's say we're taking a break, my team members will sort of message the group and say, okay, lunch break now. And although it sounds a little like micromanaging, I think it's super useful for everyone to kind of just get an idea of what's going on. And it's not even about getting permission, it's just about being able to know the frame of mind of what a person is doing. Another aspect of working from home is that, unfortunately, not everyone will be able to benefit from this privilege. For example, to the security guards in your team. It may not apply to your managers who have to be in the office and report directly to the managing director. If there is a situation in your office where you are able to work from home but your colleagues are not, please be mindful of the fact that people may have a perception associated with working from home, especially if they are not doing so. If they are working from home and they are the slackers, they may assume that you will do the same. So it's very important that you are responsible with the communication you send when you are working from home. Even before you pack up your things and go off for the week, you want to inform the rest that, hey, I'm available throughout my working hours during this time. You want to be able to be responsible with social media. When everyone is working, please don't post pictures of you lounging on the couch. That's not going to send a responsible image and people will think you're slacking. I think we should be all very mindful of the fact that working from home is truly a privilege. A lot of people who are frontliners don't have the opportunity to do so. There are going to be companies where the company does care for your safety, but because of the company's objectives, for example, if they're a hospital, for example, if they're a security firm, they will not get the option to work from home. And that's all the tips from me. This is my second cycle of working from home. In this second round of work from home, I think I've implemented the tips I've been sharing with you guys. This has proved useful to me, so I was very keen to share because I hope it will be useful for you as well. If you enjoy watching this video, please like and subscribe. I am very open to doing more like this. Maybe you might want to know what it's like to transition back to the office. Let me know and take care. Bye!